Hello everyone, today we're going to be going over how to use the website Desmos that we talked about in class to graph functions. So we're going to be going over the basics, and then I'm also going to be assigning a little mini homework assignment at the end of the video. So make sure you stay tuned. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go to desmos.com and you're going to need to launch the calculator. And when you launch the calculator, this is the screen that shows up. The keyboard at the bottom might also show up, and this you can use to type in your functions. For now, I'm just going to use the keyboard on my computer though. On the left over here, we have all these places where we can type in our functions. So you can graph as many functions as you want, which is really convenient. And when you graph a function, so I'm going to graph a line, they actually show up in color, which is really nice. So you'll be able to tell the difference between your functions by the colors that they are represented by. So here's my graph. If I want to move my graph because there's something going on the left side, I can just hold down and move my graph however I need to. I can also zoom in and zoom out of my graph depending on what I need to see. I am going to turn projector mode on just to make things a little bit easier to see. And now I'm going to show you something pretty cool. Now on a graphing calculator, we would have to hit the buttons second, trace 0 to find our x-intercept. Well, on Desmos, it's a lot easier. If you just click on your line, you see these little gray dots appear. These are your points of interest. So we have our x-intercept, and we also have our y-intercept, which is really nice. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is often we have to find the intersection between two functions. So I'm going to graph another function. I'm going to do a parabola just so we can see what that looks like. And it shows up in blue. That way I can tell the difference between them. And if I click on my parabola, I still have my y-intercept, which is also my vertex. I still have my x-intercepts, but now I also have the points of intersection where my line and my parabola meet. So that is also really fast and really convenient. Now, other things you can do is you can hide your graph if you don't want to see it by clicking on the left. And you can also edit your graphs. So say I don't want my line to be red, I want it to be purple. You can change the color. You can also change it to dashed depending on what you're trying to represent. So dashed lines are used for most commonly for inequalities and asymptotes. Now, another thing you can do is you can duplicate the equation, and then, because you're saying, well, why would I need two equations? Well, you can turn the second one into a table, which is really nice. So you can see we have our x values ranging from -2 to 2, and all of those points are now showing up on our line over on the right. Now say there's a point that you want to know that's not on your table. Well, if you click on the table, you can add in an x value. So I'm going to add in 1/2. And I can see that when x is 1/2, that y is 4. And I can also now see that point on my graph. So also a nice handy tool. So now on to the homework assignment. We have been working a lot with rational functions. So what I want you to do is create your own rational function, graph it, and then also graph its asymptotes. So I came up with a rational function earlier, which you can see here. I also have my horizontal and my vertical asymptotes graphed. That way I can see all the behavior. And I want you to share this graph with me. So you're going to come over here after you've come up with your function and you've graphed it, and you're going to hit share graph. It says share your graph with the world, but you're really just going to share it with me, so, and your classmates. All I want you to do is copy and paste this link into our discussion board over on Blackboard, just so I can see that you watched the video and you've played around with Desmos, because we are going to be using this a lot when it comes to rational functions and also when we start doing our conic functions. So there's a lot more features that Desmos has, and we'll probably go over those in another video, but that is it for today. So make your rational function, post it on Blackboard, and then I will see you in class. Bye.